The greater coat of arms of the realm is the personal coat of arms of the monarch of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. The government of the Netherlands uses a smaller version without the mantle or the pavilion, or sometimes even only uses the shield and crown. The components of the coats of arms were regulated by Queen Wilhelmina in a royal decree of 10 July 1907 and were affirmed by Queen Juliana in a royal decree of 23 April 1980. Description: the blazon is follows. Azure, ability, or a lion with a coronet or armed and langed gules holding in his dexter paw a sword argent hilted, or and in the sinister paw 7 arrows, argent pointed and bound together, or the shield is crowned with the royal crown and supported by 2 lions or armed and langed gules. They stand on a scroll azure with the text Je maintiendrai. The monarch places this coat of arms on a mantle gules lined with ermine. Above the mantle is a pavilion gules again topped with the royal crown. In the royal decree it is stated that the male successors can replace the crown on the shield by a helm with the crest of Nassau. History and origin of the coat of arms. This version of the coat of arms has been in use since 1907 but differs only slightly from the version that was adopted in 1815. From 1815 until 1907 all the lions wore the royal crown and the supporting lions were facing. As king, he adopted a coat of arms that combined elements of his family's coat of arms and that of the former Dutch Republic that existed from 1581 until 1795. From his family arms he used the azure ability or with a lion rampant or of Nassau. The Je maintiendrai motto represents the Orange family since it came into the family with the Princedom of Orange's Je maintiendrai challenge. These elements are also found in the arms of King William III, who was also King of England, Scotland and Ireland. From the arms of the former States General of the Republic of the United Provinces he took the lion with a coronet, sword and arrows. The arrows symbolize the 7 provinces that made up to the Republic, the sword the determination to defend their liberty, and the coronet their sovereignty. William replaced the coronet with a royal crown. In 1907, Queen Wilhelmina returned to an open coronet. Counts of Nassau. The arms of Nassau has existed since about 1250. There are 2 versions of the Nassau arms, representing the 2 main branches. This is a result of 2 brothers, Count Walram II and Count Otto I, agreeing to divide their father's lands between them in 1255. The line of Walram added a crown to the lion in the Nassau arms to make it different from the lion used by the line of Otto. The kings and queens of the Netherlands are descendants of Count Otto. The Grand Dukes of Luxembourg are descendants of Count Walram. They also still use Nassau in their arms. Both lines are now extinct in the male line. The helm and crest that can be used in the royal arms by the male successors to the throne is on a helmet, with bars and decoration or unmantling azure and or issuing from a coronet or a pair of wings joined sable each with an arched bend argent charged with 3 leaves of the lime tree stems upward vert. This crest is used by the descendants of Otto and differs from the crest used by the descendants of Walram. But in the royal decree of 1815 the crest issuing from a crown on the Dutch royal arms was the one used by the Walram line. Why this was done is not sure. Maybe due to the mistake, this crest was hardly used. The crest of the Walram line is between 2 trunks azure ability or a sitting lion, or the trunks are probably a misinterpretation of 2 cow horns, a crest that is frequently used in German heraldry. On the grand coat of arms of the Grand Duke of Luxembourg the lion is crowned, armed and langed gules. The Princedom of Orange. The motto has been used by every ruling member of the Nassau family, who was also the Prince of Orange since it came into the family with the Princedom of Orange in 1530. Count Henry III of Nassau-Breda, who was living in the Low Countries, was married to Claudia Orange Chalon. Her brother, Philibert of Chalon, was the last Prince of Orange from the House of Chalon. When he died in 1530, Henry's and Claudia's son René of Nassau-Breda inherited the princedom on condition that he used the name and coat of arms of the Chalon family. History knows him therefore as René of Chalon. With this inheritance came the Je maintiendrai Chalons motto into the Nassau family. René died in 1544 without leaving a child. His cousin William of Nassau-Dillenburg inherited all of René's lands. William became William of Orange and the founder of the House of Orange-Nassau. William first changed the motto to Je maintiendrai Nassau. Later he dropped the family name from the motto. The horn from the arms of the Princedom of Orange is not used in the coat of arms of the kingdom but is part of the personal arms and flags of many members of the royal family. See for example the image of the royal standard of the Netherlands. The Dutch Republic. The sword and arrows originated from the Habsburg rulers. The lion, as representing the Burgundian Netherlands, first appears as a crest on the tomb of Philip the Handsome. Later Charles V added the sword. The arrows were used on coins etc. since the early 16th century to represent the 17 provinces in the Low Countries under control of Charles V. In 1578, during the 80 Years' War, the States General ordered a new Great Seal representing the lion, the sword and the 17 arrows combined. Although only 7 provinces remained free from Spain, this seal stayed in use until 1795. After the completion of its forming in 1584, the Republic of the 7 United Provinces used as its arms, or a crowned lion, gules armed and lang d'azur, holding in his dexter paw a sword and in the sinister paw 7 arrows tied together azure. The colors of this version were derived from the most important of the 7 provinces, the County of Holland. After c. 1668 the colors were reversed and the arms became gules, a crowned lion or armed, and lang d'azur holding in his dexter paw a sword argent hilted, or an in the sinister paw 7 arrows argent pointed and tight together, or the arrows symbolize the 7 provinces that made up to the Republic, the sword the determination to defend their liberty, and the coronet their sovereignty. 1795 to 1815 Revolution, Napoleonic years and Restoration. In 1795, with French help, the last stadtholder William V was forced to flee and the Batavian Republic was proclaimed. At first this had no influence on the use of the arms of the former republic. The replacement of the Batavian Republic with the Kingdom of Holland saw the first return of the Lion of the States General. Louis Napoleon Bonaparte used as King Louis I a coat of arms that courted the Dutch lion with the French imperial eagle. After the Emperor Napoleon abolished the Kingdom of Holland in 1810, the lion again had to leave the stage and the imperial eagle was the only image in use. In 1813 the French were forced out of the Netherlands and the son of the last stadtholder, William VI, was proclaimed sovereign prince. To symbolize his new status he assumed a new coat of arms. In it the old lion with the sword and arrows made his second reappearance, now with a royal crown upon his head. Again it was placed into prime locations of a quartered shield. In the 2 3/4 were the arms of Chalon, Orange, Genève. The arms of Nassau were placed on an escutcheon in the center of the shield. The final retirement of the Republican lion came in 1815 with the establishment of the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. Because this new kingdom comprised not only of the lands of the former Dutch Republic but also of the former Austrian or Southern Netherlands, it was also not appropriate to continue the use of the old arms. First, a combination with the arms of Brabant was considered. In the end, the attributes, the sword, arrows, and crown, were placed in the care of his older colleague from Nassau to symbolize the union between the House of Nassau and the Netherlands. As seen above, this is still the basis of the current coat of arms. Versions and variants. Government. Various versions of the Dutch royal arms are used by government, the parliament and courts. Government and its agencies generally use a simplified version of the royal arms without the mantle, the pavilion and the topped royal crown. This simplified royal arms also feature on the cover of passports, embassies and consulates. The versions used by the legislature and its chambers shown the royal arms with the royal crown and a buckled dark blue strap that bears the name of the Parliament or each chamber. Staten General, Eerste Kamer der Staten Generaal, Tweede Kamer der Staten Generaal in gold letters surrounding the shield. Royal family members of the Dutch royal family receive their own personalized arms which are based on the royal arms.